Hey, welcome back to Shutterbug Club. This episode's a little different and I'm excited about it because we have a guest on today who is not a photographer. This is Sophie Fraro. Hi, Sophie. I'm so excited to have her. She is a creative entrepreneur, a writer, an author, and today we're going to talk about writing and creative writing. And I really hope you walk away with some new inspiration from this episode because as photographers, we are constantly storytelling through our photos, but it can be really helpful to find inspiration through other mediums besides photography. So I hope you get inspired to write something new today. And writing can be so helpful in our businesses as well, like the copy you have on your website or the writing you have in your social media captions. It can be really powerful to learn and understand how to really capture somebody's attention and write in a way that gets people to care about what you have to say. And so I'm really excited to talk with Sophie today. Sophie, can you kind of introduce yourself and tell everyone where you're from and just a little bit about your writing journey?
Well, yes, of course. First of all, thank you, Sue, for having me on your podcast today.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it. Looking forward to our session today. I'm Sophie Fraro. As you mentioned, I'm an author, but I didn't always start with writing. And yeah, kind of my journey through life went to different countries, different cities, different jobs, totally different professions. And I kind of ended up coming back to writing all the time in my free time at first, I noticed how it really was helping me in a lot of areas in my life, and I kept going, and it somehow turned into a profession. And yeah, today I published a few books. I'm doing lots
Wow.
of different things with texts, like in general. As you said, they can be very diverse. And yeah, that's I'm right now. I'm in Hamburg in Germany, in Europe. Really glad to be here today, Sue.
Can you talk about the books you've published?
Yes, of course. The first one was kind of a yeah, like a pilot, you could say, a test version. I just wanted to see how everything works. And when I started writing, I wrote, well, during that time back then, it was kind of nice to write blogs. I mean,
Yeah.
they still exist, but they are not as, I guess I would say, not as important or not as up to date as like 5 to 10 years ago. Everyone was doing like blogs on their website. And
Mhm.
I was writing for a company actually. Um, and I decided that I really like to write short pieces, like pick out a theme and write about it. But it didn't had to be like 50 pages. And I had after like, I don't know, half a year to a year, I had a huge collection of kind of short pieces. Some of them were kind of really inspired by my life, like one to one my life. And I just wrote my life into like a story. I just wrote it down. And sometimes I even um, made the characters a little different. Like I wrote down stories of my life, but I changed the ending, for example. Like when I had like a breakup, I changed the ending to something I wish one of my exes would have said to me, or something that made me feel better. Or I changed small parts about the character was supposed to be me, because in stories you can do that. You have no limits. So I kind of got into that, writing my own life in short stories, but adapted it and to be like fictional characters. And other times I wrote about a different topic that I just thought about at the moment a lot and processed it. And yeah, so I had that collection, and I brought out a book in self-publishing with the help of a well, I of a um self-publishing firm. Like they help you do that, but they don't have the rights for the stories. And I just published a little book collection of short stories just to see how the process would be. And yeah, that was my first book. And
What
then
is that
after
one called?
that, I'm actually not sure. I think Sophie's Journey or something, or the life through Sophie's Journey, something like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
cute, I love that
yeah,
idea.
yeah. And the second one was actually a job. I wrote a book for someone else, and that was actually in Ibiza when I was living there. And I was really eager to build a what's the word for like career? Sorry.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I was actually really eager to build a career in writing. And because I wasn't writing at that time, I was actually working in marketing at a real estate office in Ibiza.
Wow.
So I talked to a lot of people. And during that time, I had a second job. It was not paid at all, but I knew it would open doors on the island. I worked for a firm. They did events on the island and had like a little concierge service for people to book them everything they need. And so we went to a lot of events. I was always like invited for free because I was working for them and I did all their social media stuff. And I knew that at this event I would meet certain people because I don't know, if you're always sitting at home, you will never meet anyone and you will not get anywhere, or at least not as fast. I mean, you can
Yeah, networking
obviously
is
get
huge.
well, yes.
Yeah.
And so we went to a lot of events, and I was always talking to everyone that I'm a writer, even so I wasn't like a real writer. I mean, but what's the difference of writer? Um, I guess if you're writing, you're a writer, but I was not like a huge published best-selling author or something at that point. But I was selling myself as if I was, and I guess
I
that
love
was
that.
yeah. I guess that was the point back then, and well, it worked. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's so cool.
yeah. So eventually I found that one person that wanted to write a book, and he was like, "Oh, you're a writer. Well, that's destiny." And yeah, I did a biography for him. This book turned into a future project. We also did it in different languages. So that was also a good yeah, practice for me to practice my English writing. But I always did want to do my own stuff, and I never stopped writing my own stuff, obviously. And I knew I wanted to do like novels, and then I wrote my own novel. It's about like three girls living in Ibiza, and each of them have their own different love stories and dramas, and it's just really life. I would say it describes life, and I love
That's
it so
so
much.
fun. Is this book available in English?
Yes, I did it in German and in English as well. Yeah.
Oh, wow, and what is the name of it?
Ibiza Sisters, and the English title is Salty Skin, Wild Heart.
I love that, I'm definitely gonna check
Yeah.
that out, that sounds so cool, and I
Yeah.
didn't realize you worked doing social media for other people as well, because I did wanna talk about your social media journey too, because Sophie created her Instagram account, like, in October, is that when it was?
Yep, that's right.
Within the last 4 months, she has grown her account to over 100,000 followers, and she does it just, like, through storytelling and sharing tips, and so I'm excited to also talk about that later on, but that was a great introduction into your writing and your books. Thank you for sharing that, Sophie.
You're welcome.
Do you feel like writing helps you reflect and process things?
Yes, a lot. That's when I really started journaling actually in a time in my life where I didn't feel good at all. And looking back, I did write a lot when I was a child. But I just recently discovered that when my mom found like an old school thing from like third grade, where the teacher wrote a note that I'm always writing, and I can't stop even in like lunch breaks. And it was so funny to see that for me now
Wow.
because I totally forgot about that part. And as they say, things that you love doing as a child are kind of your thing and your passion. But I just forgot about this part completely and just like rediscovered it like 20 years later. And I love that. And well, but after that, like, I guess after sixth grade or so, I never wrote anything. I was really bad actually in, well, I guess for you, it would be English literature. For me, it was like in German, as you said. I was a really bad student on that actually, and
Wow.
also my writing was so bad no one could read it, and they always, like, gave me one better grade because it was so bad. I
Really?
was like, "Yes, so keep going, people, keep going, even
Yeah.
if the teachers tell you to not to."
Yeah, I actually had
Um,
a similar situation. I never did great in my literature classes, and I always just felt like I was a bad writer, and I let that hold me back for so long. I'm like, "I hate writing," but now I'm starting to love it again, so that's really cool.
yeah, yeah, so that's so weird, so, don't let the system, like, push you down on writing because it's not all grammar. We have programs for that.
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, actually, it helped me reflect a lot at times. I think I was around 20 or I don't know, 23, somewhere around that age. And I was going through a divorce and
Wow.
I had a hard time, yeah. Um, and I completely lost myself. I was like, if I would meet me today, like, uh, yeah, that's now almost 10 years ago. Yeah, because I'm 30 today. That's almost 10 years ago. Yeah, but if I would meet me today, I was a different person. But like I am now, I was before that. So during that during
Mm,
that marriage, I lost myself.
yeah.
And when it ended, I was sitting there in my new apartment all alone, and I didn't know what to do with myself, and I wasn't alone for a long time before that. So, um, you have to relearn to spend time alone. And that's when I, like, actively remember getting a journal, putting out my pens, and just writing down my thoughts because I had no one to talk to.
Yeah.
And, I was working as a flight attendant during that time, so I was working weird hours, so I was not able to call my family or my friends and whatever time, I was like, "Hey, I'm not feeling well, can we talk?" No, it's like 2 in the morning, no one's up now. So I
Yeah.
journaled, and I just journaled my thoughts back then, and, um, I noticed really quickly that it helped me a lot, that it felt like someone was there even there was no actual physical person there. Um, and it also helped me to relive some situations. I wrote down what bothered me about them and what my feelings were in particular situations. And that made me really aware and really reflective. I guess that was the start of my self healing reflective journey, you could say. So it actually was the writing part that started all of that process to um,
Wow.
yeah, regain my confidence and my personality. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Can you share some tips? How do you get people to care about what you have to say
Ah,
when you're
okay. So
writing?
if they read my text, you mean?
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Um, I would say emotion is the most important thing. It's always because we're all humans, we're all connected in some way. And if you read something that resonates with you, if you read a book that resonates with you, it is not because you like the word. Sometimes it is because you like the sentence and you find it really cool. But most of the times it is because some part in yourself kind of recognizes the words on the page, I would say. And so for me, it was always writing was always to deliver some sort of message. And you can do that in totally different creative ways. So it could be like a positive emotion, like, oh, that's a cool story. I just love that life. I would love to have it. I just feel the emotions of the characters. It could be like that. Or it could be a more serious topic and you feel like, oh, yeah, that's heavy. I kind of feel that as well. Or it could be like a problem solution text where the reader's thinking, "Huh, that's a good idea. I could try that. Let's do it." So I think reading and writing is always about like the emotion and the reaction towards it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good, and I'm just trying to think for like photographers too when they're writing their Instagram captions and stuff on their website. If they can use that emotion, it will get people to notice their work more and their journey and care about their photos and their storytelling. So that's a really good point. I love that.
Oh, totally. Because as a photographer, you even have the picture, and the picture itself is like the message and the emotion. And then if you like underline it with a sort of caption or sentence, or even just like a few, it could also only be a few words, but if they like
Mhm.
underline the emotion that you want to transport over the picture, oh, so much more powerful. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you get started in writing if you don't know what to write about? Do you have like some journal prompts or anything like that?
Yeah, for me, I've been training myself so much. I don't have that anymore, actually. I can always write. My problem is that I can't stop. I need to set a timer that I need to get up and like eat or do things.
Wow.
But I did have that, obviously, of course. At the
Mhm.
beginning when I was starting out, I didn't always know what to write about. And how I did it, well, at first, as I said, I just wrote down my thoughts. When
Mhm.
I had like a problem, I just wrote, and I used that medium as a um yeah, as a comforting tool, I would say. But when I got more into it, it was like, okay, now I want to write a blog. What should I write about?
Mhm.
I would do like kind of a brainstorm page and just wrote down words or maybe ideas that or places. Just yeah, I just wrote down like anything that came to my mind. It could be connected, could be not connected at all. Just did a brain dump with myself. And sometimes I would like by doing that, I would come into a sort of a flow, and some some words repeated itself, and then was like, oh, okay, I guess that's something I'm more interested in. So when you just start and let the connection from your mind to your hand just like flow, if you set like a timer for 10 minutes and just say, okay, I'm writing down anything that comes to my mind, and most of the time something will repeat and you will be clearer about, okay, I guess that's something I should look more into right now. I guess that is something that is bothering me at the moment, or that is something I'm interested in at the moment, and a topic will get clearer. I did that sometimes. Or yes, I used writing prompts. Um, I looked up them, I looked at questions, and I was just journaling about the questions that someone else provided for me, because that's also a way to find your own voice. Um, but always look for repetition, I would say. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it will get clear what's like your passion topic, or what's your what your where your inspiration comes from, where you're thriving. So it's not always like a technique, but I would say at the beginning, technique and structure helped me a lot.
Mm.
Because when you don't have this, okay, I'm sitting down now, I'm opening my journal or my MacBook, whatever, and I'm just starting. If you don't have that yet, then you should have a little bit of structure to help you get into that. Because earlier I had like this morning ritual, and I was getting up, and then I opened my little book and wrote down my affirmations or my manifestations, but just something with the pen in my hand. And then I would always set like 15 to 20 minutes, drink my coffee, my tea, my matcha, whatever, like my morning warm drink, and just wrote down my thoughts. And I think that helped me a lot to for me to feel normal just writing regularly.
Mhm.
And then it kind of became a habit over time. And when I didn't do it, I was like, oh, kind of weird. I didn't write a page today. And when I started writing books, it was for me, I always set a limit of at least write one page.
Yeah.
So at least one page. So I had kind of a structure around it, that I could always come back to, that I was held by, and but I was always having these go-to options if I didn't feel inspired. I guess as a photographer, you're not always inspired as well, but you have your go-to options where you know, okay. I'm getting creative at this hour of the day, or I'm getting creative when I'm at this place, or if I'm having writer's block, then I'm always going outside. I'm not sitting at home like some psycho and okay, I have to write something. No, I have my tools. I'm like making a cut. I'm getting up. I'm getting out. I'm living life, and I guess in creative professions, it's you need to be inspired to do your thing, but at the same time, the small structure around writing also helped me, for me to feel it to be it like to be like a natural thing for me to write. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I love that you would write down your thoughts in the morning, in the beginning of the day, because 'cause I'm sure that helps you process your day so much better too, just getting those out right away, and then you can easily go into what it is you need to focus on that day. So I think that's a really good habit to build, and especially even for photographers who are just, like, struggling creatively, to just kinda sit down and write and think about what it is you're thinking about, because I'm sure that can help you make some really big life decisions as well.
Yeah, for some, it's like journaling in the evening from things they experienced that day. And I did that too, but over time, for me, I mean, for everyone, it's a different, um, yeah, everything, like everyone has different things that work for them the best. But for me, um, I stuck with the morning writing, because my mind is very fresh and, like, I'm always writing my to-do list anyways in the morning, like, what's on the agenda today, and I just stretched out that little, to-do list writing, and I'm writing down my affirmations, I'm writing down my goals, so I'm being in a good energy for the day, I'm being inspired, I'm motivated, and then I can, continue to writing creatively. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Can you talk about the difference of journaling versus creative writing?
Yeah, I mean, it can be connected, but I would say it is totally different. Because for me, journaling is more like I'm writing down thoughts, or I'm writing on a specific topic. For me, that is journaling, like short, yeah, short pages. I'm just writing things that are on my mind that yeah, I just want to get out. That for me is journaling, and creative writing is more like storytelling writing. Like really, even like I did, like putting my experienced stories into a fictional story. I would
Mhm.
say that is more creative writing than journaling because I'm not just letting my thoughts flow. Um, Creative writing, I would say, has more of a story structure, even. Like if I say, okay, today, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I see people on the street, get inspired by them, by the outfits, by the conversation, by the little family, I don't know, just something I see, and then my mind immediately puts up and spins a story around it, even if I don't know anyone really, but it's a made-up story, so I'm writing it down, and I guess that's more like a creative writing part because it's not my actual thoughts. It's like a small short story about something that doesn't exist, but it exists in my fantasy, in my mind, in like a imaginary world. And that was how I got to creative writing because I always wanted to escape my reality and do something else, but you can only be obviously like a person at a time. And I was feeling myself into different like, being a different character in life, and I started writing these short pieces, like being someone else or like having that character living a life that I would like to have myself or something like that, and it's like I just built completely fantasy worlds, and I guess that is more creative writing rather than journaling, because journaling is a really good reflection tool for yourself and for your conscience, for your emotions, um, even for something that you reacted to that day. I would say that's the biggest difference of journaling and creative writing. But you could also use creative writing as a journaling tool. Yeah.
Would you say creative writing gets easier the more you do it? Because sometimes I struggle, like, I'll sit there and see someone, like you said, like, try and plan a story around them, but I'll sit there and just be like, "I don't know the story."
Oh, definitely. Yes. Yes, I can reassure you there. Um, I remember it was a few years ago. I was sitting down. I was like, "Oh, I just want to write a story now. I just want to write a story. I know that I used to love it, so why don't I do it?" And I just wrote like 3 sentences, and I think it was two people meeting in a supermarket or something. I was like, and now I don't know what to write. Like, I don't know these people. What I don't know what are they doing. I don't know anything. And
Mhm.
I think what changed since then is um, I'm not as judgy towards myself anymore because I mean
Mhm.
you're writing, no one's looking, no one knows what you're writing. And what I learned is just keep writing. Um, And what helped me the most was like bringing my own experiences into those little stories at the beginning. So I had something
Mm,
that I was like hanging on to, you know? I was like,
right.
oh, yeah, well, this could be similar to this event in my life. And let's just write it and write. And then my mind was, oh, but it could go that direction. It could go that direction. Then I was like, okay, so we go there. And then I was like, oh, but I don't know what else. And then I was like, "Oh, but you experienced this. Okay, write about something you know, because as they say, write about what you know." So I think that is the best part, or the best way to start is to write about things that you know, that you experienced, and you could start making little changes in that story that you experienced. And over the time, you will see that you don't want to write at all what you experience because your mind just goes crazy and it's just going by itself and it's like making up these stories and um, like you're feeling with the characters. And yeah, but I would suggest that like for beginners maybe. Yeah.
I love that. That is such a good way to challenge your creativity and really grow your creativity. Like, you're working that creative muscle in your brain. And I have a challenge for photographers I want them to try and do with creative writing. If you're listening and you're a photographer, I challenge you to take one of your photos that you've taken before and make up a story about it. Like, find where did this person come from before they were at this photo shoot and really just like write out their whole story. I've done this before with one of my photos. And the inspiration I felt after doing it, like it added just this whole new element to photography and to capturing people's stories. And so you can even do this, like if you have a couple, you can kind of imagine out, like, what they would be doing, and it will just give you new ideas even in the moment when you're taking the pictures of, like, how to photograph their story better. So I think that would be a really fun challenge for photographers.
Or you could also do what you could imagine what someone that is looking at your picture or your photograph, what are they doing? Are they looking at it online? Are they looking at it at a art gallery? Like you could even
Ooh.
like spin the story further. You could have audience for the pictures and create little stories around them. Like how is this picture influencing the life of the watcher? Kind of.
Wow, okay, I'm gonna have to try that one, that's really cool. I love that perspective. Yeah, you just like, the ideas just keep coming when you start thinking creatively like this, and it's gonna help you
Exactly.
with your photography, with your social media, with your captions, with your website copy, all of it. Okay, I would love to talk a little bit about your social media growth and your story with that. When you started your Instagram account, did you have any kind of strategy going into it, or were you just posting what you felt inspired by?
No, yes, I had a strategy because
Okay.
I love plans. Like I'm a really creative person, but I'm also a really structured person. And yeah, as I have my own company, I always um need a plan kind of. It never goes as I imagine. It never goes as I planned, but I have like plan A, B, C, D, E, and somewhere in between it will land. And so of course I did, but I didn't obviously I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. No. I knew that I wanted to start a Instagram account, and I knew that I wanted it to be somewhere about creative things,
Mhm.
writing in particular, but I just wanted it to be like a creative platform. That's how it started out, like promoting offline hobbies, like encouraging the people to be more creative again in whatever ways possible. Like it could be cooking a meal, like crafting candles for Christmas, writing something, reading. Obviously, it was about reading as well from the beginning. Writing and reading were always the core, but I just wanted to build this creative platform and also like I would say lifestyle platform, but I mean it is a lifestyle to live creatively and to consciously do things offline, even if Instagram obviously is an online platform, but you're not going to spend your whole day there. I mean, I just use it to get inspired and then move on with my day. So I just wanted people to look at things because they're on this platform anyway, maybe get inspired by a post of me and say, well, yeah, okay, let's put this phone down and listen to some CDs or whatever, like a old school offline thing.
Yeah.
And that's how we kind of started out. And it became clearer over the time by the feedback I got and what people wrote me, DM'd me, that they were really interested in journaling. So it took kind of yeah, a way there, I would say, from the content perspective. Yeah.
What do you think it is that has helped you grow your social media so quickly?
Um, well, I did work together with a marketing firm. So we always were in touch on terms of what should be our next decision. And as I mentioned before, I also have that marketing background, so maybe it's a different perspective to look at things. We did do a lot of brainstorming because I think that's always the best part. Like we did have weekly checkups where we were like, okay, what are the people what are they interested in, and is it something that fits into the niche that we want to promote or that we want to um, tell the people, is it fitting? Because sometimes there were posts that went viral that were just like really not that specific on writing, I would say. And
Mhm.
I thought, oh, that's frustrating. But I mean, obviously, of course, not everyone is interested in writing, but is interested in like creative things. And I was like, well, okay, it's good. Let's just keep going. Let's see where this is going. But I always wanted it to be more like on a more reading writing side. So we did I think like 2 months ago we kind of changed it a bit and went more into that niche. And it for the most people did respond very well and I was happy about that. Obviously not everyone that is following, but that's not important. It is important to reach the people that you want to reach. So um I would say that was like a strategy going in like really wide and then narrowing it down. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's really good paying attention to the feedback you get, and it sounds like you really were just thinking about what it is the viewer wants to say, also mixed with what it is you're trying to say. Not what the viewer wants to say, but what the viewer wants to see. Just like you said, like getting off social media and really paying attention to what would be best for them along with what you are passionate about. So I love that. Do you post mostly, like, the carousel photo posts or the reels? Do you have, like, a different strategy with both of those?
definitely carousels. Instagram had like a huge shift in the algorithm, I would say, because if you asked me like 1 or 2 years ago, it would have been reels. Um,
Mhm.
but you can see that not only with my account, but with different creators as well. We're all experiencing the same thing. Like carousels are um, yeah, the really pushing your account part, I would say, because you have much more saves on carousels because there's actually like more content in it. In the reel, you have like a video, and obviously you can use the caption to deliver what you want to say. But in a carousel, you can decide, is it one slide? Is it 15 slides? Like you can put a lot of information into one post. And yeah, people definitely are reacting to carousels more at the moment. They are sharing
Mhm.
more, they are saving it more, they are commenting more because I think everyone like feels the same way. If you have a nice reel, you can save it, but later on you will not look at it as much because it's a video and you have to kind of search for it. And but if you have a carousel slide, you can even take like short screenshots, and a lot of people are taking screenshots and saving just one slide. And you can look at it at the evening in your little media take, and get reminded of something that you thought at the day was really cool. So I think carousels really did the part. Yeah.
Okay, so also saves have been huge for you, getting people to save your posts. Can
Yes.
you walk through your process of creating a carousel post?
Um, yeah. So at first, there has to be a weekly plan, like a content plan. I
Mhm.
mean, that doesn't have to be, but it's how I work. Um, because otherwise, if I just start without a destination or a goal, then I don't know, it gets wild. It doesn't lead anywhere. Also, with the writing, I always know in chapters what I want to say, but I don't know in detail how I want to say it, but I have like
Mhm.
a idea of what I want to put on the page. So it's the same with, okay, this week I want to go into this topic, and maybe on Sunday I want to reach this point, and I can use Monday to Saturday to build up information on this topic to be there on Sunday. And so I always choose like a topic, and then I do every day um like small bullet points for myself, where I write down the topics that I want to put out there or the ideas that I have. Um, and then obviously I write down like a hook that I think fits that topic
Mhm.
or fits the theme of the week. And yeah, I just create the carousels itself in Canva. I don't know if
Yeah. Yeah, I
it's
use
the
love
tool
Canva.
that you use. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the best for me. It's the easiest. I use it since, I don't know, lots of years. So that's how I do it. Yeah, and then I
Yeah.
mean after that, it's the easy part, just the uploading and putting it in the planner. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so good. I know your carousel posts are so aesthetic and they're so fun to just swipe through, which I think is part of it too. You really focus on the aesthetics and finding pictures that match what it is you're saying. So getting people to want to share and save those things. Has growing on social media helped your business or gotten new opportunities for you in any way?
Well, I'm talking with you right now.
True. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, not like super duper multimillionaire kind of way. Not yet. We're not
Yeah,
done.
it's only been 4 months. Yeah.
Yes. And we're not limiting our dreams. No,
Yeah.
but yeah, of course, like um I didn't have um the reach, I would say, before that. I mean, um I love what I'm doing, and I'm really standing behind everything I'm saying, I would yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the platform to reach out to people or even connect with people, then it will always stay like in a small universe. And for me, the biggest change that I can see in this short amount of time is that I reached out to a lot of people from the US. That is new.
Mm.
Because before that, it was always just Europe.
Mhm.
And that's something new. and I'm really enjoying it because I used to live actually I used to live in Georgia for a year. Went to high
Oh.
school there for a year actually, and my uncle lives in Florida in Tampa, and well, I'm always visiting him once a year, so I always had a little connection to the US, but not in a working environment.
Mhm.
And now, since people are reaching out, it's really interesting to start a conversations with yeah, with people from the US, because it's a different point of view, I would say, on
Yeah.
working perspective and living perspective. And yeah, I think that's the most, or the largest change that I got to experience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. Now you know someone from Colorado too. I'm in
Yes.
Colorado. That's really exciting. If you were starting your account from 0, like starting over again today, what would be the first thing that you did?
A plan.
Okay, good.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely write down the goals that you want to, like, why do you want to start this
Mm,
account? Where do you want to go? It doesn't have to be really specific, but there should be an outline. I mean, if if you're doing it just for fun and just putting up some pictures, that's fine. But if you want to do it from a business perspective, you should always have like an outcome in mind that you are working towards to. You can always like change the route, but I think that's the most important thing at the beginning, that you know where you want to go, and write down like your milestone steps. Um, and you should also have like a time frame in mind. That's how I would start. I would pick out a topic that I'm passionate about, that I can go on endlessly, because you need to produce a lot of content. So it should be something that you're really into, because then the topics
mhm.
will never go out if you're passionate about something. It is a lot of work. Yeah. It's not like always fun. You have to
Yeah,
think about that as well. It is a lot of work. But if you're structured, it is manageable, because you can produce, like, you can have a content day and do like content for 2 weeks. You don't have to sit there every single day and get into social media, because I myself, I'm not a phone person. Like, I'm not. That's why I'm promoting offline things, because that's not me at all. I'm not the super scroller. I don't like that at all. So for me, it can be a challenge to produce all the content for social media. So I'm always like trying to cut down to content production days, because
mhm.
other days I need just for writing. I need time for inspiration for other projects.
So true. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would you say?
Keep going. Definitely keep going. Like, I would say, if this is something you're passionate about, do it. Don't stop. Don't stop by, yeah, critique. Don't stop by if anyone's doubting yourself. If you believe in it, then you will always be successful in it, sooner or later, even if it's just successful for you because you finished a project you really wanted to do. And always go for the things that you dream of. Because
Yeah.
when I was younger, I always lived that way, and I never regretted it, even if I like did a lot of different things, and I never regretted it, because you learn from everything.
Yeah, that's so good. Thank you so much, Sophie, for coming on the podcast today.
Thank you, Sue. Yes, it was really fun. Well, I guess I will write about photography a bit now. Yeah.